Hi. This video interview is with Ruan Marinho. He has many videos on YouTube. He probably has more subscribers and views than any SEO videos that are on YouTube, maybe other than Neil Patel. Um, and I started watching him like a year ago. I think he's really an honest guy, and he doesn't pitch anything during his videos. So that's why I wanted to hook up with him and uh, do an interview for the podcast. So here it is. Thank you. I am good. How are you?
I'm doing very well.
What the last thing I can remember that you did that I was watching? The plumbers, the mold.
that
What was the mold thing?
that was really recent.
Yeah. So I really, what I would like to do is just like have a topic and just chat about it.
Yeah,
Instead,
perfect.
yeah. Um, I would say, look, I mean, your YouTube channel that I don't know, I think I started watching it like a year ago, maybe. And what struck me as somebody who's been doing SEO since 98 was you have not 1 ounce of bullshit in you. Truthfully, that's what struck me. And I think that most of the YouTube videos that are on SEO and digital, even any digital marketing, although mostly I would only I keep them on as I'm working just because you never know. You never know when some kind of a tip or click or some little thing is going to like hit you and say, yeah, that shit might work, something like that. So, I mean, look, there's channels on and shows on that to me, and you don't pitch. I never hear a pitch. I know you have like a course. I'm aware that you have a course, but you would never really know it listening to most of your videos that you make. And to me, that is probably the main reason that I kept watching your videos was because you're not pitching anything. You're not really doing anything except like showing people what you're doing as you're doing it and showing like results that you're getting as you're getting them, not being sales really pitching anything like 99% of everything out there. And look, some of the channels, before you, there's been a lot of SEO videos that were made. And now even those that I used to watch, like, I don't know, Josh, who I like, but I don't watch him anymore because it's not any more information. It's only join my class, which is fine. I'm fine with that. I join his class. He knows a lot of stuff. I personally, I just stopped watching because there's no like for me, I got nothing out of him anymore. So, and there's a lot of other, shows that are like that. Just saying that because that you strike have always struck me as like someone that is not out there trying to pitch anything. Um, that's the main reason. I think a lot of, I'm going to just pick out one of my topics out of here, rumors about SEO and how they turn into truth. So this is one of my main things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you think about that? There's stuff, you hear something that some of the elite SEO world leaders or whoever the hell they are, they're not Google. come up with something that they heard, they turn it into some kind of a rumor. And over time, it becomes truth. When people who are actually doing SEO on their own websites, like me, I don't have an agency. I don't
Yeah.
do clients. I don't have clients. My daughter has social media clients. But for
Yeah.
my own sites, most of the stuff to me is just like these rumors that over time like become like truth. And I don't know, that's something that strikes me as a pretty good topic to go over.
Yes. So to me, the rumors, they start when somebody figures something out that is so small but it's significant to them. So for example, when you're working on a site and you notice something that Google may be rolling out, but they haven't made an update on it, and then you say, okay, well, this happened because of this. Here's my theory on this. And then all of a sudden that becomes popular. So one rumor that I came up with was if I publish a YouTube video and talk about a specific website, people go to that website and that helps its rankings. And I've proven this over and over and over again with the different websites that I show on my channel. And eventually somebody picks that up and they start talking about it. And that's when the rumors really happen. Now, there's no verified data that Google has told us that this is a direct ranking factor, right? Because it's kind of my unique positioning to it. So that's where rumors begin. Now, the key differences is a good rumor and a bad rumor is the bad rumor, there's usually an agenda. So there's usually join my class, here's my rumor and here's what I think is true. And then there's like good person, which there is no agenda. It's just, hey guys, here's what I learned. Maybe you can take this and use it for yourself. But I really quickly wanted to share this because I'm super excited about it. So when you talked about the other YouTubers in the beginning and how they have their own agenda, that's what's holding them back from getting more views, because people know that when they watch their video, they're only there to trash talk and bash other people rather than provide data that they've seen working in the field, because they want to sell that data because that's the only way they can monetize. So I think rumors in SEO is definitely one of the biggest things, because we don't hear it from the Holy Grail what actually works. We kind of just hear from Google, hey, expertise, authority, and trust, right? The big word EAT that's been out. And while that's very vague, how do you build expertise? Well, that comes with actually being a good person in business. Then you can build authority, and then you get trust. So I think a lot of the work that we do and why yourself and I thank for you watching the channel. I think why we get the respect that we do on our YouTube channel is just because there is no ultimate agenda. Yeah, it's nice that people contact our agency to do the services for them. But at the end of the day, what I really like to do is just get on camera and show people what's working. I've always been big into education, so I always like teaching. And I think it's really fun to teach because there's such a rewarding feeling of having somebody come up to you and say they really like your videos. It makes you want to make more. So I know that can go away if I just start creating bullshit rumors and I just start saying, hey, buy my course, join up for my class. I can't pay my car payment next month. You need to buy this course. But that's really the agenda. It's not, hey, I need to help this person. Hey, I want to show you something that's cool, that's working. No, it's kind of like my personal agenda, but I just say it on YouTube. And that's when you really start losing visitors and trust.
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly right. And look, it's up to the viewer to hopefully be able to figure it out after a while if you're actually going to get real information that's going to help you, or you're not going to get any of the real information until you come out of your wallet. So, I mean, that's just the way it happens. And then you've got to me, one of the biggest that irks me so much, the problem is there's two sides to it. You can rank your page with no links. The problem is, in one aspect, it's true, because if you're let's take Ahrefs, if you're in a low to low competition level, you have a possibility over 6 months of getting on the first page with no links. If you're in a real business that makes money, that is the ridiculous nonsense. It's just a bunch of nonsense. Mm-hmm. So to me, you either say, okay, you've got 2 years, no problem. Make a web page, try to promote it on Facebook, somewhat, and see what happens. And over 2 years, you'll build a page and you can rank with no links. In the real world, do you have clients that say, I want to wait 2 years while you only put out content with no links? Yeah, it's not reality. That's one of the things that irks me. And I think it's because the people that say that want you to join their class because it sounds easy. It kind of makes it sound easy to make a website and not have to worry about links, which is, to me, the hardest part. And it's pretty much a lie. So that is one of the ones that annoys the hell out of me that you hear all the time.
Mm-hmm. And that's the typical answer of someone who doesn't know how to actually get results for that type of business. Usually you'll hear the same things, and we work with clients. That's our main business. And we'll hear all the time, well, this agency told me that if I just build links to my website, if I just do this, it's going to rank on Google, which is not true anymore because it used to be labor to play. Now it's pay to play. So now we're seeing search results pages where there's more than 4 AdWords sections, right? There's like 6, and then there's the 3 LSAs at the top. So Google's going away from this organic results type of thing, but now it's like, okay, the businesses that have the capital are likely authoritative businesses, right? So these are likely businesses that provide a good service because they have capital to invest in pay-per-click. Let's promote them. Instead of, okay, this business just knows how to optimize their tags. They just know this, so let's promote them. They're going away from that every single day, and you see it in the search results engine page almost every day. There's a new ad snippet somewhere on pretty much everywhere. So, really that answer, that add more content, build more links, is so vague to the point to where it's not actionable and it's not a service that you can sell. Hence why a lot of people fail at the agency model, because a client doesn't know what that means. Okay, create content, but how is that going to impact my bottom line? There's really much more to a strategy than just creating content and building links. That's kind of the fluff that I don't really know what I'm talking about, but I want to say what other people are talking about. Response on YouTube. So that's why, like in my videos, like I talk much more about just the content. I talk about the design of the website. I talk about the user experience of it, people being able to go through multiple pages and how we actually come up with our content topics. And that type of stuff really resonates with people because it's different than what they hear every single day. And as long as you can come up with your little, proposed rumor or your strategy that works for you, keep with that, and eventually you'll get attention. My good buddy Chase Rayner, he's been saying SEO is dead, and he's kind of going towards this like authority hacking model, and he's getting a ton of attention from it. He's never gotten as many views as he's ever gotten since he's been saying this type of stuff. And that's his little rumor, but it resonates well with the SEO because I just want to build more links, build more links or build more content or do your title tags correctly. All of that stuff has literally no impact to the bottom line of a company's revenue. Yeah, it should be done. Sure. You should optimize your tags as much as you can. But at the end of the day, a company's not going to make $1 million because they optimize their meta descriptions,
Absolutely. What tools do you use?
For which tools for just in general?
Yeah, what's your top 3 tools you guys use?
So there's in this is in terms of SEO or any tools?
SEO.
Okay. There's a few tools that I really like. One is Yext, and for the reason for that is it's such a sellable thing if you're an agency, to where you offer that peace of mind of giving people the option to update all of their listings at once. This becomes really critical as you start working with a client over years, because we do quarterly photo shoots for them and we update their stuff so it's consistent. So it's nice being able to do that so we don't have to build stuff manually. As you know, you can never get your time back, but you can always make more money. So if you're spending time building out directories, I think it's just a huge waste of time. And directories are becoming more and more and more of a lower impact than the search engine results page. So it makes me worry about Yext a little more, in terms of their sustainability. But Yext is one of my favorite.
Well, I like it. It's absolutely Yext. There is no other tools or companies that can give you what Yext has. So absolutely,
yeah.
I think
companies try, right? Local tries,
Yeah, I think. What about Ahrefs? Do you guys use that daily?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we use a lot of Ahrefs, and it's not that it's necessary like client results. What it really is just like that back end SEO tool to where you kind of know everything, right? So it's that knowledge system that we use to identify new keyword phrases, backlinks, stuff like that. We also pay for SEMrush. So we have two tools that are paid that kind of do almost the same thing. The reason why we like SEMrush a little more is because of their reporting capabilities. I think Ahrefs is way behind on being able to report and create these nice white label reports that you create with SEMrush. But the keyword data and the backlink data on Ahrefs is like 100 times better. So we pay for both, unfortunately. It's a good expense though, because they both do help our agency every single day. In fact, we log in so much that they ultimately cut us off. And it's a pain in the ass because then we got to go to the 99 plan or whatever plans that they have. And we're not going to pay that much for that tool. You know, if we have to, we'll use Google Keyword Planner. So if I were to say my top three, I'd probably say Yext, Ahrefs, and SEMrush are our favorite.
And do you think why, to my opinion on Moz, is it's used so much in like our business because it's cheaper. I mean, instead of DA has become the thing.
Yep.
Which is Moz. And so when I say, why is DA that much bigger than DR or Majestic? It's because Moz doesn't cost $300 a month. So you've got the masses of the people out there, probably they can afford Moz, and that's why I think, I could be totally wrong, but to me, I think it's because it's the cheapest tool. That's why DA is so much bigger than Majestic, which isn't that expensive, but Ahrefs cost money. It's a lot more. I think that you're, all right, so in Develomark, you guys are what, 90% local?
Yeah, probably like 95.
95% local businesses. So your whole SOP is nothing like mine. But my first thing is, all right, let me see what product or service I can see that there's no AdWords allowed. That's kind of the way I first approach something that I'm going after. So, which ultimately brings you to things that aren't not that they're illegal or anything like that, but they're things Google has decided we're not going to put up, even though, like CBD. I've been working on my CBD site for a year, and Amazon sells CBD all day long, every day. But I love it that I hope Google never allows AdWords for CBD ever. And that's basically how a lot of things that when I chose CBD, that was like one of the main reasons, because there's no AdWords for it.
Yeah.
And I think that it's just there is a huge difference to what your operations and procedures are for local businesses like you guys do. It's kind of really different than mine. What about Surfer SEO? Have you tried it?
What is it called?
Surfer SEO.
I've never, let me take a look here. Your on-page process will become easier, faster, and more comprehensive than ever. I've never seen this tool.
Never? What about Page Optimizer Pro?
I've seen Page Optimizer Pro. I've seen the tool.
Yeah, Page Optimizer Pro I like it. Surfer SEO, to me, Kyle's good, very smart dude. Page Optimizer Pro, very good. Surfer SEO, 100 times easier to use for almost the same exact information that Pop gives you. So that's just one of the things I discovered. Surfer SEO takes me on one of my CBD pages, took me from page 2. All I did was put it in Surfer SEO, follow exactly what the thing said. Boom, the next day I'm on page 1 for best CBD gummies, which is one of the biggest of my keywords. Huge.
Yeah.
So tools are awesome nowadays.
Yeah. And these tools, like, what they do is so smart because, they analyze what's on the first page and then give you recommendations based off of what you're missing and then kind of give it to you in a nice list. So it cuts out that research process. So I'm definitely going to take a look into Surfer SEO or Page Optimizer. I've heard a lot about Page Optimizer Pro. I know a lot of people that use it, which is awesome. I just never had the time to go in here and play with it. I might start using it though, because it looks like it does some pretty cool stuff.
It is cool. It's cool. It's just a little more complicated. It's more detailed. Put it that way. It is more detailed. So to me, I don't know, my brain doesn't work good enough for Quora and sometimes Page Optimizer Pro. That's the thing. It's kind of like data too much. Surfer SEO, to me, it does a lot more of the shit for you.
Yeah.
And like that. I mean, that seems to be an easy tool. And to me, like nowadays, okay, 10 years ago, you would have had to spend, or I did, you're spending weeks to analyze the top 10 for one keyword you're trying to go after. Now you can do it in 5 minutes and get the output of these programs. It's really awesome to me. I think both of them are good. I think that, I like Kyle too. Do you ever go to any of these conventions or conferences and stuff?
Do you mean like more SEO related ones or?
SEO, not like digital as a whole.
Yeah, so I won't go to any of these like SEO ones. I've considered it, but most of them are like overseas, right?
Well, there's not that many that I've been to SEO Rockstars, which is usually in the States. That one is more black hat, gray hat-ish. And then Chiang Mai, obviously, is overseas. That's Matt Diggity's huge. Now it's really big.
Yeah.
It just amazes me that people fly all the way to Thailand to go to this. When I think about it, I'm like, it's really amazing.
Yeah, he's been doing it for some time.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I think he's one of the people, other than your videos, Matt doesn't make videos, but the lab course he made is probably, if somebody came up to me and said, which course should I buy out of these hundreds of courses that people advertise? Look, the lab is the only one I think I've ever actually bought. And I think that I recommend it. Of course, I know you have one, but for yours, all you got to do is watch your videos. Somebody who doesn't know anything about SEO absolutely could learn enough just by yours and other free videos on YouTube, truthfully, to get them at least started. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, that's very true. And the course stuff is my course. I haven't had it open for months now.
Yeah.
It's just like the people that come into it, I'm not sure who they are, and they all have a different expectation with SEO because they've heard different things. So, it becomes a problem of, are you actually even helping your customer? Although they're getting the knowledge, are they making money? And then you got to kind of go into that how to make money online arena, which I cannot go into.
I hear you.
So it's tough. It's like, okay, like having this advanced SEO knowledge on how to do best page structures, best schemas, best header tags. Like, how is that actually going to make somebody money unless they're determined and have the will? So eventually, like the course, like I had a few people with good successes that were selling client services, but it's never going to take me to $1 billion company. Like no course anywhere online is going to take you to $1 billion. So when you talk about billion, you talk about changing the world and changing community and changing your stakeholders. Where the course, it's just like, it's this business model to where like, yeah, it's good for a guy like me to make some beer money and, buy a nice car with, but it isn't going to give me that 35-year result that I'm looking for. So I just decided to stop investing time into it rather than time into my authorship and on YouTube to where I can get opportunities like this interview to where I'm meeting more people because I'm just giving it all out for free.
Yeah. Nowadays, everybody has a course. Everyone's got a course. It's the biggest way now to make quick money. Absolutely. There's, the next shiny new object, which I fall into it sometimes, but.
Me too. I buy courses all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. I fall into the next shiny new thing. I was like, let me just check this out.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the big things now is Amazon's home services.
Gosh.
And,
really?
and I literally, like somebody already has a course for it. So,
I started with a course on Amazon FBA, like, I don't know, a couple of years ago. And I was like determined I was going to make the supplements. I was going to get them on Amazon FBA. And I had all, I had the whole plan ready. But then you go down to the numbers and they like take like 35% of your money if you're going to buy Amazon pay-per-click. So it's a thing that sounds really good. Right, it's the next shiny new thing. And now anything Amazon, home service, whatever it is, everything is a new course on making money online. I think that back to what you were talking about into growing even though I'm not really into the agency thing, it's finding the right people. Look, I have been interviewing people to help me with SEO for a year. And it seems like I can never find the right person. So I end up doing everything myself. I outsource some stuff, but I end up doing everything myself, or like teaching somebody that knows nothing who's already working in the office, stuff like that. But to me, it's hard to find the right people. SEO to me is something that if you're not into it, it's hard to find an employee who's not like into winning. To me, SEO is a game. If you're not into winning and totally into like SEO and beating the guys on top of you, it's kind of hard to find people that like have that same mentality to work by the hour and still be into it totally. To me, that's what I've found as far as finding hard to find people. I mean, you probably found some good people. That's one of the keys to me, is finding good people.
Yeah, yeah. And so the beautiful thing, like idealistically in a realistic world with the agency model, is if the agency charges 150 an hour, right, per se, and then the staff gets paid 20 an hour per se, there's a lot of margin in there to do it right. So idealistically, when I hire somebody for SEO, I train them and I make them, work for free to intern if they've never learned anything about it. We've never hired an experienced SEO, only because, and I'd love to. Eventually, we'll have an SEO manager that kind of takes care of the role. But you're right. It's finding that right person that has such a knack for it that doesn't have their own business, because that's the most challenging part. Is anybody that's really good at the SEO piece, they're doing their own thing. They're doing their own websites or however it may be. It's very hard to find somebody that's very experienced in SEO to work for you as a payroll staff member, right? So it's kind of a challenge. So a lot of the times, like, I'll invest my personal time into teaching somebody that has no idea about it, and then kind of putting them into that role. And of course, you're going to have a ton of mistakes that you wouldn't do how you would do it if you were optimizing the site. But that's one of the pains of owning a business, is giving the keys to somebody else and letting them run with it. And yeah, you're going to lose clients, you're going to lose business, you're going to lose rankings because of the people that have the keys. But the magic there is that it's getting done without your supervision. So it's definitely a big pain point in the agency world, because all of the talented people, unless you have $120,000 to offer them a year, they're doing their own thing, because it's so easy to make money if you know how to do it right,
No, I totally agree. And when I say to myself, why would somebody even work here that knows what they're doing that I'm looking for? I'm looking for someone to impress me when they come in here to interview. And then I'm thinking, why would somebody want to come and work for anywhere by the hour if they already know enough to be impressive, where I'm going to say, yeah, we need to hire him. He's definitely going to be able to help me. That's a big issue that have not found a way to overcome yet, and end up doing a lot, 90% alone or outsourcing. Do you guys, as far as links, do you guys buy guest posts? Do you have vendors you like to use? Do you have outreach in the office? What's your best way that you've found?
Yeah, so the thing about the agency is there's an SOP for everything that we do. And if there's not, we're continuously building them. So with the outreach, we have a list of websites that already we've gotten on, and we keep this database inside of the agency. So when we get a new client, we already know which websites to hit up. So we build relationships with these webmasters. And then eventually when we get a new client, it's not even like a traditional method. It's just kind of like I email the person at the place and they take care of it. We use a tool called Guest Post Tracker. And basically using this tool, it'll show you by niche every website that allows to guest post. So how we go about it is we'll use the client's name and address and get access to their email. And then we'll do the outreach with that client's email address, as well as these websites that have already, approved these posts. And then we'll do that. And then basically we'll get guaranteed posts from that. But additionally, we're moving into a much more PR related approach when it comes to guest posting of legitimate businesses getting press and, with real authorship and real viewership to link back to our site. And we did this with our agency on Friday, where we did something small in the community and we got a backlink from a highly authoritative news channel. Those are the different type of link methods that we're looking at, other than just, getting on these websites that already approve all of these guest posts. Because after Google's recent change of, indicating in the link attribute, whether it's a sponsored post, a genuine backlink, or a non-sponsored post, no follow, they're really going to start cracking down onto these websites that approve all of these guest posts. So we're being very wary with where we publish our clients' content, unless it's very authoritative within their niche, right? Because you can get backlinks from these websites that blog about anything, right? And those websites are next to be penalized, and the websites they link to. So we're very careful with the farms that we're putting our links in. And we've really gone into, if the blog isn't about our client service, so let's say we're working with a lawyer, it better be a lawyer website, right? Or if we're working with a dentist, it better be a dentist website. It can't just be, prnewswire.com. It's not relevant. It has no value, doesn't increase rankings, no authorship, no viewership, nothing legitimate. So Guest Post Tracker is really nice because it gives you a list by niche. So every time we get a new client, we already know which websites we're going to hit up. Then we go in and just start emailing these places and getting the approval and then submitting the article. The clients already have the articles written, and then we just publish it on these websites.
Guest Tracker. That's a new one for me that I never heard of, actually.
It's awesome. And you can even post your website there and start getting paid for guest posts using that.
I think I'm going to definitely check that out. I think, so what about your opinion on vetting websites for guest posts or links back? I mean, do you only go, to me, it's so already out there and popular about DA and DR, and I don't think people really realize how those are associated with PageRank, like the actual real thing that's out there, and that those are guesstimates, educated guesses, but guesses nonetheless on a website and the value of getting a link on that website. When if you actually have studied the Google patents and about what is really PageRank, has really not much to do with the domain itself. It goes by pages. So I think that a lot of it's so big out there now, the DA of the website, that people don't really go the step further to vet out, okay, let me look at this site we're trying to get a link from. Where are they getting their links from? Are they getting some New York Times links? Are they getting some Scientific American links, Harvard, whatever it is, high pages that are going to be seed sites, or hopefully seed sites. But I don't think people go into the vetting of websites. That's very time consuming things that I do. And I don't know, for your business, it doesn't seem like it's probably an issue, because local is totally different. With me, it's not local. So it's like it's a different operating way that things have to be vetted out. But you probably have to vet sites before you ask for a link on them.
Oh yeah, and the primary vetting that we do is this website relevant to the client's website? So that's why we use Guest Post Tracker, because we don't have to analyze these websites, because it gives you all the data up front. So it pulls the DA, it pulls the amount of website visitors, because they have API keys with Ahrefs and SEMrush and Moz. So it pulls all of this data for you before we even reach out to the blog. So you're right, it is all about the page that it's going on, but more so not the domain authority, but just the relevance. Are there people going to that website, and are you getting published, and are people clicking the link from that website to your website? Is there real human engagement? That's always the best. I mean, we've had PBNs that we've set up with really high domain authorities, and we link back to our test websites that we have, our small little websites that just sit in Google, and there's not much of a ranking difference, even though it's a domain authority of 70, right? There's no ranking difference. And, this is tracked over 3 months, and it's because there's no viewership on that website. There's no authentic aged Google profiles visiting that website. So when that happens, you're just basically, Google knows you're just trying to play the algorithm. That website's been dead for years, even though it was an expired domain. It's not having any ranking impact in the algorithm. So when we push for things like PR, when our clients get mentioned on news and there's a link back to their website for that news segment or whatever it may be, now you have thousands of people in Connecticut clicking through to the client's website. That's a direct engagement signal that's going to rank it higher in the search engines. And we do this by doing very simple things. We do this by pitching local journalists, local TV segments, those types of little things. And we get our clients on the news just speaking about real estate, roofing, whatever it may be. And then they get the link back to their website. And that as a signal is much more beneficial than doing a guest post on some random website just because it has a high domain authority, which is a metric that Google didn't even come up with. The metric that Google did come up with is the human engagement. So if you can get that, if you can optimize for human engagement, you're going to get rankings long term. And what's going to happen is all of these websites that are just publishing thousands of written word contents to get paid, these sponsored websites, eventually someone's going to step into Google and they're going to say, you know what, let's send a manual action to all of these websites. They have to undo all of this. And then at that point, you've just done SEO for years and years and years just to redo it again. So, sticking to what is natural is always best. Sticking to what actually is real and actually has human context and is readable, right? Like we used to, it's crazy to think about, but we used to just order a $3 word article from a $3 500 word article from iWriter, and it was just not even in English, right? And just post it on a PBN and link back. And we didn't know if it was working, but the sites were ranking. So maybe it was one factor that we were doing that was working. So we continued to do it. And it really, it kind of struck out to me when a client said something about it. And they said, like, how is this helping us? It doesn't even make sense. It's just on a random website. And when I explained that there's an SEO value to it, that's kind of when I was like, what am I even talking about? Is there even an SEO value to it? Like, does this even work? So we just stick away from all of like the gray hat, not gray hat. We do some gray hat, but we stick away from like the black hat stuff that really like you don't even know if it's working. And you're listening from these rumors from these black hat SEO experts or, these different types of channels to where there's an agenda as to why they're telling you. And that's kind of why we stuck to like the real human engagement. If we're going to get a backlink, 1,000 people that could be our customer's customer better read that and go through that backlink. If it's just robots going through it, that's not going to rank it in Google. I don't think that that's good enough anymore. So now our agency is turning from technical SEO to more of social responsibility campaigns for our clients. Because if we can get our client to donate 1,000 backpacks to a public school, guess what's going to happen? Multiple media sites are going to pick it up, link back to our client, thousands of engagement signals, and that's what's going to rank our client, not a fake contextual article on some random website with spun content linking back with the exact keyword anchor phrase. That's all going to change very soon. And with search engine algorithms on the upcoming, right? Not like Google, not like DuckDuckGo. I'm talking about real human engagement-based search algorithms. Google has a product lifespan. So when you think about the product lifespan, there's a peak, and then it starts going down because a competitor comes into the market. And we've seen other different types of search engines. I can't think of the one off the top of my head. It's the guy who invented JavaScript. He created his own search engine, which is solely based on human engagement. So guess what the ads are in that search engine? Human engagement. So if you can get people to engage with your posts, those are going to be the top results inside of those things there. So those are the things that are up and coming. And when you start thinking about those things, you start to wash away anybody on YouTube that's talking about how to do advanced schema markup or how to do backlinking or how to do Web 2.0s. That's when you start ignoring that stuff because you start to look further than the SEO. You start to look at the purpose.
You do schema. Since I don't do local, I don't really concern with too much schema. Do you guys do that on every single website for your?
We use Yext. So Yext automatically, it does the local business schema for you, and you just drag and drop it onto the website. So yeah, doing it manually is just a huge waste of time.
I don't think I ever did a schema. If I was going to, I would probably just get the plugin that does it for you and automatically puts the schema in there. I think there's plugins that do it. I'm not really sure. I think that, look, on the whole thing about PBNs, to me, the answer is yes and no. I absolutely agree with you on all that stuff. But then again, since I know websites that are kicking and killing it with PBNs,
we all know them. We all know them.
Yeah, it's a yes and no, and sometimes answer.
You bring up a good point because so if I was running a CBD website, I'd have 1,000 PBNs.
I hear you.
But you know where the problem comes up when you're doing the agency? Because now I have to train people on how to do this, right? So when I'm training risky techniques to staff members, it just doesn't fly. So we've cut it out completely. On my personal sites, yeah, we have PBNs. For my little local lead gen sites that I show on YouTube, sure. But when you have to train a staff member and you're teaching them a method that may not work next year, that's kind of when it's different. Now, if I had my own personal asset that was generating sales, I would definitely do some, advanced link building stuff, some 301 redirects, some Amazon stacks, things like that. But with client sites, like you just got to be really careful.
I don't think about that. You're exactly right. No, I hear you. It's something that doesn't always right. Exactly. Yeah. I come from a totally different place. I think. Do you guys use Bing at all? Do you guys do anything for Bing?
Absolutely. I'll tell you a trick right now. Bing doesn't have a sandbox. So when we register our exact match domains and put them into Bing places and optimize it through there, we're ranking #1 for our EMDs in like a month. So for example, like we ranked the keyword knowwellwater.com, which is a very broad keyword, and it's for our client, and it ranked on Bing in 30 days. On Google, page 4 for broad phrase, but you can go in and type in No Well Water nationally. It's ranking #3, and then put it into Who Is, and you'll see when we register that domain. So Bing is a very big thing, and we noticed this when our client started getting leads from Bing, other than Google, when we registered these new domains for him. And we were wondering, like, okay, does Bing even have a sandbox? So we tested a few other sites, and it does not have a sandbox. So we've realized that we can bet on Bing for leads primarily when we get an account, as long as we optimize for it and we have it inside of their little algorithm there. The good thing is when we register through Search Console, it often does Bing. So it's really nice to do that, and really nice to see Google and Bing work together a little bit. So huge focus on Bing. DuckDuckGo is the search engine where we're really not sure what the ranking factors are, only because we've seen results to where we've optimized for Google and Bing, and it's still not #1 on DuckDuckGo. So I think DuckDuckGo, oh no, never mind, we're there now. So maybe it just took time. But I'm not sure of DuckDuckGo's like search ranking factors. Have you heard of anything like that?
I have no idea of DuckDuckGo and anything about them. Bing, look, you're talking about time. If you're one person like me and you've got 12 hours in a day, I haven't decided to put any of those 12 hours to figuring out Bing, although the videos on Bing are on top of this websites, aren't they? When you do a search term on Bing, it's 2 rows of videos come up first before any websites. That to me is interesting. So I think that if I was gonna try to figure something out on Bing, it would be, have you tested anything as far as what those 2 rows of videos and why they come up on Bing, what factors are making them come up on Bing?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the obvious reason, right? People want to watch video, and the team at Bing doesn't have the resources that Google has because it's kind of their secondary product. So I think that the team just took a random guess and said, hey, if somebody types in a keyword, they're often looking for a video, so that's what we're going to promote inside of our rich snippets here. Where Google kind of has more data on what people actually want to see, so that's why you see less video search results. But it depends on the keyword. If you're talking local, you're going to see the maps, right? If you're talking CBD oil, you're going to see, I don't even know what you see. Okay, so you see news first. So they go for news as well as kind of like the Wikipedia thing here. So it's a good point. For our clients, we make videos for all of them anyways and label them, the appropriate keyword inside of YouTube and Vimeo and all of that other stuff. So, ideally, we're probably ranking there anyways. It's a good point, though. I've never really checked.
Yeah, I don't know what people, if there's SEO work to do on your video that is different than what you do for YouTube rankings. Is there different work that you would do for a first page Bing video that's different than a YouTube search work that you would do on it? I think that that's something to look into, and that's something that, to me, I think that that's on Bing. When I search, it's videos that come up like every time. Local is different, probably, but every search I do on Bing is the first half of the page is videos.
Right.
I haven't had the time to try and figure out why is this video coming up on Bing on the first page, and is it totally different than what you care about for YouTube search kind of a thing. So I think that's something that's, to me, kind of an interesting test for somebody to do, and I'd pay for that if somebody that I knew had the info on what makes videos come up on Bing on the first page. That has value to me. I wouldn't have to worry about it then.
Yeah, because what the reason why they come up on Google is just because of engagement factors, right? So we know that. Bing, I'm not sure, but there's a service called Cloud Rank. Have you ever heard of Cloud Rank?
Oh,
You're gonna like this one. So my buddy Dan Anton, he makes several different little SEO softwares to beat the algorithm, and they're really cool. You got to check them out. One of them is called Cloud Rank, and it basically live streams your video, and then it takes that live stream and embeds it on 100 different PBNs, and then it shares all the PBN links on social media profiles. So then Google just picks it up and they rank it #1 on Google.
Thinking back, I think I already paid to join that. Must have been Cloud Rank. It had to have been. The live is what made me think about it. That's how they're pitching it, is a lot. I probably already joined it and never got to it. I do think that kind of idea is good also. I think that finding the videos on Google, what keywords pop the videos, it's another time-consuming effort that I haven't got really into yet, but I think it's definitely worth it probably to spend time looking and seeing which keywords are popping the videos.
I mean, we've used Cloud Rank for a ton of things, and they rank #1 video on Google, so it definitely works.
Cloud Rank, I'm definitely going to look and see if I still have my membership being charged to me every month.
Well, the good thing is you get credits if they charge you. So there's likely a lot of credits that you haven't used yet.
Yeah. Cloud Rank. Tierney, can you write Cloud Rank down so I check it, please? Thank you. I like that whole. Everybody's coming up with another way for videos on Google. That's a whole other thing that I haven't tried to look into yet. But I think, to me, on my pages that I'm doing for whatever on my own site, I think that having the video right on the top of the page is the best way to keep a user on the page instead of text. I would rather have a video up there. Couple minutes video instead of coming up with the perfect wording for keeping a user on the page. To me, I think having the video right up there as soon as they get to your page is an easier way to keep somebody on the page when they get to the page, for sure.
So it's a good point that you bring up. Google eventually is going to stop looking at text just because it's so easy to manipulate text, like keyword density, keyword LSIs, things like that. What we've found to be working very well is just putting a video and then like 3 sentences. And yeah, you need your H1s, your H2, and stuff like that. But eventually what it's going to turn into is like what page is actually getting the most viewer retention. And that's what's going to rank. So right now we're in the cusp of that with RankBrain, right? They're looking at these algorithmic factors as to how somebody likes the page and how they engage with it. If we can get away with our service pages just being a video and a little bit of text to rank for those local keywords, we're going to do it all day. So we're actually testing this out with a client that we have now, an attorney, where we're going to just put videos up in small blogs. We use rev.com to transcribe video. And basically you just boop, put it up, text transcribed, and then now you have your page and you just shot a video and now you have a full ranking page. So we're testing that stuff out now. And I'm sure once we have the results for it, we're going to share it on YouTube.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that, look, that if I have to think of my number one problem, not problem, my number one challenge is, okay, now I've got my page number 5 for a kick-ass keyword, but I'm not great at the CRO part. So I'm saying, fuck it, I'm gonna put a video up there first, up right on top of the page. So put the video up there that explains everything.
Yep, exactly.
Yep. Yeah, it's 2 totally different businesses to me. The whole CRO part, that's a whole nother skill. It's not SEO.
We're really good at the CRO part.
Yeah, see, that's something I never took time to learn, the CRO part, truthfully, because it's different. I mean, all right, so what do you do? Now you have a video, you got your page, it's number 5 for whatever your main keyword is, but you know it's not CRO optimized. So then the first thing that pops up to my head is, what if this drops me? What if I CRO optimize it and it drops me a little bit? Things like that. So look, that's a whole nother absolutely skill set that is, to me, a big value for SEO, is actually CROing the page so it doesn't drop your rankings and keeps them.
For sure, for sure. No, it makes sense. And that and the CRO, I mean, really, it starts with the goal of the website, right? There's different goals for pretty much everything. There's a different goal to get leads. There's a different goal to get a sale. And then it's just optimizing for that goal using typical tools on the website. So like a pop-up or, that type of stuff. So
Okay.
the beautiful part about an agency is every time we get a client, we try to work with the same type of people. Now we already know what the CRO goal is, and we already have the tools built out. So when we build these websites, not only can we lower our cost, right, because it's costing us less to do the service, and give a better experience because now we know exactly what to do for a dentist and how they're going to get conversions.
Yeah, that's good. You having that kind of stuff is the way you scale, obviously, once you've got all that built yourself.
Right. Exactly.
No, absolutely. All right, well, I don't want to take up that much more time, although I could probably be on for hours.
Yeah.
So
Myself as well.
I think that another thing, not really for the video, which I'm going to take out of this.
Sure.
Are you in any masterminds? I'm thinking about the perfect mastermind and starting it.
I'm in one mastermind. It's this gentleman in Connecticut, Larry Janeski, and the way he does it is insane to the point to where, I wouldn't even join another mastermind just because this one's too critical. Check him out to get some inspiration. It's contractornation.com. And the way that he's going about it is so smart. So, you know, ideally, you have a system to where people are paying monthly and then they're getting a good amount of information from other members. You know, the only problem that I have with those types of things is the commitment piece of it. I don't like commitments, like the BNI business networking. I just don't like commitments because the more you add to your life, the more stress you get. So I just try to stay low committed. But I would definitely check out Contractor Nation. The way he set it up and the way he structured it is so beautiful. Like it's unbelievable. And I pay $500 a month for it, so it's not that expensive. It's a pretty penny. You know, it's not like it's nothing.
Seen some for 20 grand.
Literally, and it's a 5-year program. So eventually, I'm paying out like 40,000.
Yeah.
But it's well worth it. It's grown my business exponentially. It's grown me as a person exponentially. And it's got my mind thinking differently. And the cool part is I get to connect with the people that are in the mastermind as well. So as long as you can create a community like that to where there's an ultimate value for all the stakeholders, you're going to have a successful one.
What about one that doesn't cost any money, but the cost is showing first page rankings? That's your price to get in.
That's a very good idea. Yeah, no, that's
No, right. What have you done? Let me see it. Let's see what you've done. Show me what pages you have on the first page. And that's your entrance fee to get into the mastermind. That's more what I'm talking about. No money. No money.
Yeah, and that's and although that's not money, it's still value.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't have to be money; it could be value as well, which is that would make sense. You know, to be honest, I'd probably join your mastermind.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have that's gonna be the first 2 people. You got the way in is to show what you have ranked. That's your entrance. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, it's a great idea because then you know you're working with people that actually know what they're doing. You know what I mean?
It's the only way to know. To me, I don't know any other way to know. Oh, I know one more thing I was going to ask you about, which I'll put it in somehow, is everybody does this, and to me, I'm like, why would I even believe any of this? Is the graphs with the names of the sites blacked out? I don't think you do. I doubt you even do it. Do you even do that?
I could give a shit if you know who I'm working with because we have nothing to hide.
Your site, here's a picture of a graph of a website with a line going up, 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 up. And I'm supposed to like pay for your service because you put this graph on there with no domain name on it and you blacked it out. Okay, come on, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know why they do that, right? Because if you found out who they were working with, you can probably pick off 1,000 PBNs they're using.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so there are reasons, and I still think that it's, to me, I'm not going to buy something you have because of a graph like that. That's ridiculousness to me. And that the YouTube people that do that, I just sit there and say, come on, to me, it's just nonsense. And it tells me nothing that you have any idea what you're doing, except you know how to put up a graph with a number with a line on it.
You know how to hide your black hat techniques, yeah.
Right, exactly. All right, so let's look. Let's chat again. Not make a video or something, but let's keep the line open just in case I come up with something or you come up. And I am going to start. I want to start a group for sure.
Yeah. Where are you publishing this video?
We are on. My channel is just called Michael Stone, and then I have another podcast channel type thing that is Second Act Podcast, which you're just in your first act. You're not really a second actor yet. But
I want to subscribe to your channel. When you publish this, just send me a link to it. I'll share it.
No, I absolutely will. I just really started putting videos up in that channel. We mostly were look. I got sidetracked this year a lot. Shiny new objects, shiny new things with the whole podcast thing and the whole YouTube thing, and it took me away from my SEO. So that's kind of like I don't know, I easily get sidetracked on those things, but that's why I'm going to start something a little bit different as far as what of putting videos up for maybe not just SEO, but other stuff on there too. Yeah, I think that, unless there's anything else you need to say or think you want to say, I think we got it all.
No, I just wanted to thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, Michael. So yeah, send me a link when it's up, and I'll be glad to share it with my network and send some visitors over your way. And if you do decide to do that mastermind and need any feedback, or would like me to send it over to me, I'll check it out for sure.
All right, sounds good. All
All
right,
right.
man. Thank you.